This is Canada Day 2024. Um, Today of course, I have nothing to celebrate when it comes to a proto society that continuously fails and that won't let me help while it willingly oppresses me. And if I say this, people think it's Trudeau. No, it's not Trudeau, it's you. If you know of me and you're watching this, you're one of the oppressors. Um, so today I'm just in healing mode, right? Recovering from physical ailments that are still present. Uh, Digestive tract related. I thought last night I was down to some solid fecal matter and maybe things were getting better, but I'm jumping out of bed really quick here. No time to put clothes on and go to the pit toilet or even to open a window before to ventilate. And it's liquid again. And I bought this, which is 30 something dollars, and I'm trying to, I don't remember it was that much last time. And I'm not certain that it's something I should take. It's just I'm going with my best instincts with not having any medical care of quality in Canada for more than a decade now. And cataloging it and complaining about it, reporting it to the authorities that are supposed to, and then getting no responses, right? So there's no accountability there. And it's not Trudeau. Trudeau doesn't contact these medical care providers and say do a bad job with Martin. He doesn't do this. It's just your own natural ways, right? To do a bad job and to not care and to not show up for work even when you show up for work, if you know what I mean. So the digestive tract is the biggest issue right now. And of course, emotional healing, because, scars on top of scars when you try to help people. And so this is how I'm spending the day. I mean, it's beautiful outside here, but I'm afraid to go walk because, I've got to run to a pit toilet that might not be cleaned at the time or busy. And so this is how I'm spending the day. I mean, I wish I could walk to the lake here, but this little trail right here is it's not a safe place to actually touch the water because there's a lot of logs, and if you try to walk on it, you might slide and hit your head. Don't have a bicycle, either mine from Quebec or one that I thought I was going to maybe be able to afford. And even if I could, the person in charge wasn't at the store this week. So, I'm not able to enjoy activities I want. And I went to badminton yesterday, but even some of the better players, they still don't have the basics of where to stand for doubles and what shots are good for their team or good for the other team. And it's really about learning. It's just nobody wants to learn to do anything well or the right way or as is intended, even at the basic level of understanding of that activity. And yes, there was more evidence this week that what I've been realizing in the last year is there is nobody more harmful to Indigenous communities than Indigenous people, and more evidence collected in offering my services and being blocked by Indigenous people. And even non-Indigenous people play these games, right, where there's money laundering happening, and they don't realize it's like supplying weapons to another country when you kind of want one side to win or the other. People don't realize that everybody eventually is harmed by those practices. And it's the same thing by giving a lot of money, but not auditing how it's used or monitoring how it's used or evaluating people in charge for success. I mean, I arranged for my student to give an assignment that shows how disappointed she is in the lack of support from, elders or community members or those that manage these funds, and people don't even want to read it. So where do I go from there? I mean, I go somewhere else to volunteer with animals, and it's like, oh, they're worried, my motorhome. If it stays there, it's a liability issue. But really, they're afraid I'd be like somebody already did in the past, is not leaving when they want me to leave. Now, if they'd want me to leave, it's because I'm a bad person. They wouldn't want me to leave if I'm a good person. But again, like even the indigenous people that think I failed when they failed, and I leave on time, you say, don't do this to me, give me a warning. They still do it to me and my cat, and they still get hugs, but they got some firm feedback though at the end, and they didn't know how to respond because they never get feedback. Nobody challenges them on their behaviors that harms their own people. Not just me and my cat, but their own people. So I don't know if I should even keep trying to help indigenous communities because I think there's more toxicity in helping them than the toxicity in helping non-indigenous people. But there's toxicity everywhere. And so what I'm going to decide to do starting today is I'm going to start praying to a God that I don't believe exists, so maybe to all those ones that you guys believe exist, and say, as somebody who loves life, the biosphere, and what evolution has come up with, except for, the one species that is the failure in this heavenly biosphere, which is the species I share DNA with, is I'm going to hope that these gods, I could also say the prayer to extraterrestrials or AI or whatever as well, just to throw everything in, and say, I would like the species I share DNA with, which includes me as well, to disappear like an ash, like Thanos did in the snap, and it's because there's no redeeming them. The tipping points have passed, and I I don't know that I'm gonna die anytime soon, and it's not a happy life living among you. I mean, if you're all gone, and as a species I share DNA with, but all the other animals were there, it'd be okay. But the thing is it'd be okay for my life, but still not okay for the biosphere. So that means these gods or AI or extraterrestrials I'd be praying to in a fictional way, because you got to believe in that stuff. You got to have evidence to believe in that stuff. I'd say that it's not just everybody, no exceptions, because it's really 100% of you are not well. And I don't need to stay here and have to deal with all your poisons and nuclear power plants blowing up and warships rusting or whatever it is. Like everything related to your species and even related to the animals you've domesticated to also harm the biosphere. Everything related to you and what you've done in the history of your species, everything that you own that you think is great, like cities. I would like a god to just snap their fingers and turn all this to ash and back to the wild, nature and all other species that have developed a much more efficient stability in the earth systems and ecosystems than you seem to realize you're screwing up, even though you think that the screwing up is independent from you, but you're smart enough to fix it when you're not. Like that's how sick you are. So there's no redeeming you. So I think every night now I'm gonna say a prayer to things I don't believe in, wishing for snap that everybody that is my species. Again, this is not Trudeau's fault. This is all of you, 100% of you, the ones I interact with, the ones who have the nerve to ask me for a criminal record check when I'm immensely more ethical than you, who ask me for references when you are failing at your jobs as you interact with me, and I document it. So all of you, and it's not just here where I am, it's everywhere I've been around the world, and it's everything I see in the news, is you are a plague to the biosphere. So I'm going to ask these gods you believe in to get you out of here, turn you all and your byproducts into ash, and let the natural world continue to exist as the heavenly place that it is. And then I'm going to ask these gods to kind of do the same for themselves, to turn themselves to ash for utterly failing you. And then I won't have to confront them for their failures. They'll just be, yeah, we screwed up. We're going to clean up our own backyards and get out of here and go back to whatever godly dimensions they come from.